YouTube channel. Tuesdays to Fridays, 12 midnight Philippines. For thoughtful conversations that strengthen our faith and listen to inspiring INC original music. Become a part of the warm and loving community we call Ohana or family, because we are in this together in faith and melody.
This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
Don't be afraid to take the baby steps. It's another day, don't forget, 'cause just a prayer away. Don't give up now, trust the process and keep learning. And if you need a friend, we're in this together, together, together. We're in this together, together, together. We're in this together, 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 together as a family in faith and melody.
Yes, hello. Welcome back, everyone. This is INC Radio's Faith and Melody, where we have deep, rich, and life-affirming conversations and listen to inspiring Iglesia ni Cristo original music. This is Jay broadcasting live all the way here in Australia, where the local time is currently 2:04 a.m. And I'll be your host for today, where we'll be talking about being present. So is everyone present? Is everyone ready for today's broadcast? So today's topic, we're talking about basically being present with where you are right now. Because have you ever scrolled through social media and felt like everyone else is living a better life than you? That fear of missing out, or better known as FOMO, can easily steal our joy. So today we'll talk about letting go of comparisons, appreciating the present, and trusting God's plan for us. So we're excited for you to join us on today's show. So let's get this show started and listen to the first song on our playlist, which is titled In His Hands.
Her heart is hurt, it's bleeding. Her eyes speak pain, they're pleading. Trials won't stop from coming. She's badly bruised, but she keeps on walking. She stands against the darkness, her sorrow makes her weep, but she's not at all defenseless. There's one hope she gives. You turn your side upon the skies, her God will come and dry your eyes. So fix your gaze upon the prize. You're safer that you realize. He seeks the day, he's searching. His illness grows inside him. He must endure the pain he's suffering. All hope seems lost, but he keeps on waiting. Each step just seems so heavy as he battles for his life, but he's not alone, defenseless. There's one hope inside. You turn your side upon the skies, or God will come and dry your eyes. All you endure, he understands. Have faith, for you are in his hands. You think you've crossed the threshold of what you can bear, though no one seems to care. Remember, you're in the hands of the one who's always there. Your heart is hurt, it's bleeding. Your eyes speak pain, they're pleading.
Magandang midnight, Philippines, and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone else that's tuned in from all over the world. This is Jay on INC Radio's Faith and Melody, where the current time there in our main studio in the Philippines is 12:11 a.m. So we're very excited for everyone that's tuning in with us live from the Philippines. We know it's a little bit late there, but we're glad for you to join us. Later on the show, we're talking and tackling that little feeling of missing out, or better known as FOMO, and what we can focus on to let go of that fear and to learn to appreciate where we are and the plans God has for us. That conversation and more on today's topic, being present. But before we get into our topic discussion, let's begin everything with our kickoff chat.
In other words, this is our life transform. Let us know if it's something that you're willing to take up as a
Kickoff
challenge.
chat.
So the simple question that we are asking on our kickoff chat today is, what is something you feel like you've missed out this week? Since we're talking about a little bit about being present and FOMO. So go ahead, let us know your answers there in our live chat. Maybe we'll be able to read that out. But let me introduce our guest that we have here. We met him last week, but we're very excited to have him all the way from Central Europe joining us again today. Hello to our brother there, Henry Inocencio. I think I got that correct now.
You got it
how
right,
are
brother.
ya?
You got it right. It's Henry Inocencio coming to you from Germany here in Central Europe. And so happy to be here. Had a really great time last week. So I figured I should just come here again because I don't want to miss out this week. So that's why I wanted to join this week as well.
We love it. We love that you're here with us. But we also, one thing I forgot to do, we usually, especially for the new guests that we have on the show, we get them to share with us a fun fact about themselves. So I know I'm putting you on the spot a little bit, but what would be a fun fact that we should know about Henry?
Let's see. A fun fact. Well, let's be more in the present. I am not a musical guy, but I did just purchase my first drum set not too long ago, and I'm waiting for it to arrive in the mail any day now. So I don't know how to play any instrument, but I will soon, hopefully, if I can stay disciplined enough to learn the drums. I will have a new talent, hopefully, in the next few weeks or months or years. We'll see.
That's exciting. I've always wanted to learn how to play the drums, but I don't think I'm coordinated enough to do different movements. Like, I think you have to use all of your limbs basically to play the drum.
Oh,
So
that's why it's gonna be such an exciting
journey.
exciting chance to see how coordinated I really am.
Love it. Okay, so let's get into our kickoff chat. We've got a few people as well that's saying hello to us. We've got Elaine Timbang, of course. I'm saying happy Monday to everyone. Greetings from the District of Mediterranean. So they're tuned in with us as well, of course. Henry's very own Rachel Inocencio saying greetings to everyone as well. Mario Oka, we wouldn't be, again, Faith and Melody there in the Philippines without our Kuya Mario Oka saying good midnight there in the Philippines. Enjoy watching Faith and Melody. Greetings from Local of Brixtonville, District of Caloocan North. So thank you so much to everyone that's tuning in and saying hello to us. What's something you feel like you've missed out on this week? Henry, did you want to go first?
You know, to be honest, I'm at a point, maybe it's my age, but I don't feel like I missed out on anything this week. I went exactly where I needed to go, whether it was to get a nice meal, a nice burger, a nice sandwich, or some Asian food and rice, because it is kind of hard to find Asian food here. But you know, I got everything I needed. There was a time, I will say, before in the past, not too long ago, there was a little bit of a snowstorm, and so we weren't able to go where we had planned to go. But you know, that was a natural occurrence that prevented us from happening. But normally, at my stage of life now, I don't really miss out on anything. So as for this past week, I went exactly where I needed to go. So I did not miss anything out. What about you, Jay? Did you miss anything?
You know, one thing that I've been hearing, especially they broadcasted a few things and a few event updates here on INCRadio. There is a Kadiwa International Kadiwa meet and greet. And for those who aren't familiar with the term Kadiwa, that's basically for the brothers and sisters in the church who are not married, over 18 years old, baptized, not married yet. So they have had an international meet and greet over in Nagoya, Japan. Right. And that just happened over the weekend, I believe it was. I saw a few updates posted here on INCRadio as well. But I like we never had any activity like that where we actually traveled to a different country and met up. So it's kind of like if I was younger and if I was still a Kadiwa, you know, I'm married now, I'm buklod, but that would have been fun, right? That would have been a fun thing to do. So kind of like excited for them, and I was like, I wish there's something like for us as well. Like maybe we can have a bookload night, or like, you know, for the married members, an international one over in Philippine Arena. Imagine that.
That would be nice. That would be really fun. I would love to go to the Philippines and meet a bunch of other families and learn
Yeah.
about the different cultural experiences, such as myself being from Hawaii originally. There's so much that I've learned in Germany. It would be nice to meet other brethren in Japan. So if there was like another bookload activity in Japan, we'll probably go to that one.
We love Japan as well for our family. Like it's one of our favorite places to visit. So definitely another excuse to go there. That would be great, to meet other people. And I think that's what they're really loving over there with the Kadiwa meet and greet is that they're meeting new people from all over the world, making new connections. Connections very important. The people that because there could be people that you work with and people that you build long friendships with. So it's always a great experience to have that. But I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap up our kickoff chat segment there. Thank you to everyone that participated and also said hello in our live chat. Rachel's still there, Elaine, Mario. So hopefully you can join us in our topic discussion in a little bit. But again, we're gonna wrap up our kickoff chat segment right there. That's been today's kickoff chat. Let's close off with our bumper. Hi, Kritak.
Let us know if it's something that you're willing to take up as a
Kickoff chat.
So before we dive into our topic discussion, let's listen to the next two songs on our playlist, which are titled Hold On Just a Little Bit and Smile in the Face of Trials. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Yeah. This is Hold On Just a Little Bit. Here we go now. Yeah. Hey, brothers and sisters, it's only just a little bit. We're almost there, so hold on just a little bit. A little bit longer, a little bit further. Our salvation is near. So hold on just a little bit. Hear the cries of people starving. Feel the shakes of all the earthquakes. And see the signs falling from the heavens. Signs of how close we are to our salvation. Time is counting down. There's no reason to frown, to smile and rejoice, for that they will be saved. Onwards to salvation, God's speed as they breathe. Yeah. Hey, brothers and sisters, it's only just a little bit. We're almost there, so hold on just a little bit. A little bit longer, a little bit further. Our salvation is near. So hold on just a little bit. We're not calling, cause God called me and you. So in these last days, we gotta stay firm and true. Spending all our days, giving our God praise. So the worship service we should never forsake. How are we going to spend our days? The worship service never forsakes. Understand as we should enter his temple. Despite all our problems, how small or how difficult. Hey, brothers and sisters, it's only just a little bit. We're almost there, so hold on just a little bit. A little bit longer, a little bit further. Our salvation is near. So hold on just a little bit. At the door, always to perfection, to attain salvation. Hey, brothers and sisters, it's only just a little bit. We're almost there, so hold on just a little bit. A little bit longer, a little bit further. Our salvation is near. So hold on just a little bit. Brothers and sisters, it's only just a little bit. We're almost there, so hold on just a little bit. Salvation is near, so hold on just a little bit. Hey, brothers and sisters, it's only just a little bit. We're almost there, so hold on just a little bit. hardships. And I know, God will test me. No, I'll go through fire and these tests and get heavy. No, God gives me strength, I'm never running on empty. So I will not be surprised if I face these tests, cause they won't minimize in my life's quest. Faith needs to be purified through all of these tests to be worthy of the prize of forever being blessed. God only gives tests in order to prove my worth. And all these trials and tests will end with this earth. So if these trials come my way, Apostle Peter should be glad, cause on that glorious day I will no longer be sad. So the trials that I face, they are necessary. As I run my race, they are only momentary. I'm a servant of God, trials can't bring me down. I keep my trust in God to receive that eternal crown.
All these trials and all of these tests can't be avoided, but I know I'll reach success. I'll remain in God. Church of Christ. So I keep my trust ground in my faith in the promises of God and that He will say. I'll remain in God. Church of Christ. Church of Christ.
Who is the servant that will not be overcome by all of the trials that we face under the sun? The Bible clearly outlines how to reap success in the midst of these trials and all of these tests. The member of the church whose roots are planted deep, who obeys God's command and God's law is what he keeps. And in the midst of these trials, his service never ceases. Our Lord God, he continually worships and pleases. That member's faith is strong, his faith is truly firm. He follows God's law and every teaching that he learned. So that is exactly what I'll do. My services will never end. I'll serve God with zeal, I'll keep God's commandments. I will be devoted in my services in his name. In the church of Christ is where I will always remain. Cause when my faith is firm, I can't be turned away. Cause those who are devoted will surely be saved.
All these trials and all these tests can't be avoided, but I know I'll reach success. I'll remain in God. Church of Christ. Church of Christ. So I keep my trust ground in my faith in the promises of God and that He will say. I'll remain in God. Church of Christ. Church of Christ.
It is written in the Holy Scriptures, his promise is portrayed like a vivid picture.
I hold on to his promise cause that is my conviction. And every time that I call, I know that he listens.
I know he's never far, he's only a prayer away. He's right there listening to me every night and day.
He gives me the answers to all of my problems. So no matter what will happen, I will always call him.
In times of test, I won't be abandoned by the Father, because that is his promise to his sons and daughters.
I need to be tested to purify my faith so that I will remain in the church and never ever turn away.
In times of trials, my faith will be made strong. For these tests and trials will only teach me to fight on.
So if I go through tests, I know I will not fail. I hold on to God's promises, I will prevail.
All these trials and all these tests can't be avoided, but I know I'll reach success. I'll remain in God. Church of Christ. Church of Christ. Church of Christ. So I keep my trust ground in my faith in the promises of God and that He will say. I'll remain in God. Church of Christ. Church of Christ. Church of Christ.
Welcome back, everyone, to Faith and Melody. And today we're talking about our topic discussion, being present. Because as we know, we're all connected on social media quite frequently. We're seeing other people and even other random people we see on social media. And sometimes we get that feeling that maybe they're having a more exciting life because of what they're posting and things like that. You know, that little feeling of missing out, or as most people call it, FOMO. It can sneak up very, very quickly. So whether it's comparing what we have to what others show, or wishing we were somewhere else doing something different, it's easy to lose sight of the blessings that's right in front of us. So today we're talking about letting go of that fear, learning to appreciate where we are, and trusting that God's plans for us are good. So as we get into our topic discussion, let's say hello quickly to everyone that's saying hello to us there in chat. We see a few names. I believe we've got Central Europe, right? Germany, it's got all many brethren that's saying hello to us. We got Brad, Takushi, Jonah Rubik, um, Rachel Inocencio, of course. We've got Rubik Joshua as well. Henry, I think you know a lot of these people that's saying hello to us there in our live chat.
I have some supportive Ohana who, when they know the INC radio that I'll be here, they'll always tune in. So shout out to those who are joining us today for being so supportive.
Yes, we really do love it. So we are talking about really that feeling about missing out, right? FOMO. So let's begin with the first question that to kick everything off in our topic discussion. Do you think FOMO is more common now than before? Let us know your thoughts. Join our discussion. Henry, what do you think? Do you think FOMO is more common now compared to, I guess, a few years back?
So I remember growing up, at elementary, intermediate, high school. There was no social media yet, so we were very connected to what was in front of us. I come from the generation where we would ride our bikes on the street safely, ride our bikes on the street, and we would hang out with our friends. We would, take turns going to each other's homes and sometimes playing video games, sometimes working out, playing basketball. And so we had nothing to compare what we were doing with anyone else going on in the world. The only time we could get to know what others were doing is uh, probably when I was in college, when social media started to come out, when we started to be able to have the technology to post what I did today, what I'm doing tomorrow. The oh, that looks so fun. I see that my cousins, my friends, they went to this activity, they did this, they did that. Oh, they're wearing this. Oh, they have all these nice gear because they went to a sports store and they got all dressed up and now they play ball with style. So there's all these things that used to be posted in my college days, and now we fast forward to now, we can see what each other is doing, and we can see what our friends and families doing on the other side of the world. We can see uh, people of our generation succeeding at a level that may not be the same level as where we're at. And so then what happens is we start to compare. Should I be doing there? Are they in a state that I'm not yet in? What is the normal baseline of success? What I'm seeing online, what I'm seeing around me, or maybe I'm doing something wrong. And so that's where the fear starts to become apparent, becomes visible, is because then there's some comparison, apprehension, and feeling like I'm not fitting in with what's happening around me. And so FOMO is more common now than before because really it's social media and what's being put out there. Everyone wants to celebrate and they have no bad intention. They just want to celebrate and show their friends and family, this is what I did today, this is what's happening. But there is an effect, a side effect, that those who may not be in the right place start to compare themselves. And it leads to a feeling of, I'm missing out on something. Maybe I'm forgetting something. Maybe I'm supposed to be where we're at. What do you think about that, Jay?
No, I totally agree because I also grew up in my younger days during the time when you don't know who's calling you on the phone until you pick up the phone because there was no caller ID, right? You didn't see their face, there was no video. You had to pick up the phone to call them. And the only way that you could, I guess, compare with anything is once you actually caught up with your friends in person, like face to face. But it's so true right now. We are so connected to each other and even to people that we don't know personally, right? It's so easy to send someone a friend request on social media and to connect with other people and all of that. And because social media is so common and everyone has it connected on their phone, most people, even I've seen, young kids walk around with smartphones, and they're connected to all of these different social media platforms. You really are now comparing on what you're seeing other people post. And we are going to get more into that, in terms of like why we find comparison there and kind of like how it affects us. We'll get into that in our discussion, but definitely it's more common now because of just how connected we are. So with that, what factors do you think would make someone feel FOMO or that fear of missing out? Like, what do you think are some of the factors that plays its head when it comes to FOMO?
So I would say it depends on the generation. So I remember FOMO would hit me hard when I was a teenager and even in my college years, when your friends say, "Oh, we're going here. We're gonna do this. We're gonna hang out in this garage and play, guitar, and we're just gonna sing." I was very involved in that kind of thing of jam sessions, what they call, and
Yeah.
so missing out on those social interactions, those social gatherings, that's I think that's not too bad because you just like to bond and you know how fun it is to have a circle and we just start singing songs together, harmonizing that nice melodic feel when you start to harmonize and sing together and jam. So that's okay, but um you're gonna go to the next one, so it's you just kind of like, oh, I have to study, and so that's when it starts to you have to do your prioritization, and that's when you have to think about uh what am I missing out on? What what is it really that I'm not gonna get from that time? I'm not gonna be there when actually I have something more important to do. And so the factors that make someone feel FOMO is knowing what they are missing because they've done it before. And sometimes it's putting an imaginary image in your head about what you might be missing, but you really don't know for sure. And so I think FOMO is a lot more uh what's the word? Heavy, and it hurts more. When people with FOMO start to paint a picture of perfection, like something is gonna be so great that I'm gonna miss out on it really bad because I'm not gonna be there and it's never gonna happen again. So there are different variations of that. If it's a once in a lifetime event, oh, I'm never going to experience that ever again. And that fear gets, it hurts them even more. And it depends on the activities. It becomes a form of anxiety. And that's why I think that people are not recognizing nowadays. FOMO is actually a little bit of anxiety, because you feel like I don't need to be where I'm currently at. I need to be somewhere else. Now, there are certain types of missing out that, if it makes you better and there are ways to achieve that, then it's not necessarily a fear of missing out, but it's more of a goal to reach so you don't miss out. But the different types of FOMO that is more common nowadays is missing out on something that's really not so bad as people think it is. So it really depends. People will miss out on certain things or feel like they're missing out on certain things because they place a lot of weight on not being there and they don't like where they're currently at. Does that make sense, Jay?
It does. I like how you brought up this different, different emotions when it comes to missing out, and there's different types of missing out. But before we continue on with this, because I love where this discussion is going, we're gonna cross over to our Ohana there that's tuned in with us. Erica, hello. I feel FOMO a little bit, seeing what's happening behind you. What's
Yeah,
happening?
so right now I'm in the track and field. And oh, hi everyone. Happy listening to Faith and Melody. This is Erica, and I'm joining from Norwich. Pretty much it's like England, like in the east, I think. It's East Anglia, like this area. Anyways, what I was gonna say, I saw Arabelle. Arabelle, you wanna say hi? Just say hi. Hi. Sorry, she lost her voice. So we're she lost her voice, so we've been cheering a lot. We're here for the church officers activity in the district of Britain South, and it's been fun. I'm tired. I tired. I played volleyball and I did track and field. I did relay with my sisters and another friend. But yeah, so you can see the track here. There's like friends and families all around, and then inside, I can't go inside to let you like to show you the courts for volleyball, basketball, badminton, table tennis, and there's also like chess, darts, Scrabble as well, because there's no signal inside. So it would be like all muffly, I guess, when I go inside. But how's the topic discussion?
Well, I mean, like, we're very excited that you're here. Actually, before we
Yeah.
let you go, because and thank you for the update, Erica. Like, we love that
Yes.
there's an activity happening. We're asking the question about factors that would make somebody feel FOMO, fear of missing out, right? So maybe you
Okay.
can share with us what do you think are
Yes.
some factors that makes people feel FOMO?
You know when discussion makes me smile because I feel FOMO sometimes. But anyways, it's the feeling of wanting to experience everything and not missing out on things, right? So for me personally, I think like one factor is when you're okay, I know we're all different people, but me personally, I guess what what happens to me is that because I'm the type of person that's like outdoorsy, I'm a people person, and I love having a lot of experiences and memories. So I feel like I want to do it all, right? So I think that that's one factor, like being open there and wanting to experience a lot of things. Another factor maybe is uh, maybe like wanting um, to spend time with everyone, if that makes sense. But then in that case, it's like there's certain circumstances where you're not able to be with them, and so that makes you feel like, oh, I can't go, and I'm gonna feel like I feel like I'm gonna miss out a lot if I don't go. You know, that happens to me, Jay. A bunch of times, whenever, because I'm the type of person that always invites people out as well. You know me.
And it's like you want to be everywhere. That's why you put a
Yeah.
little hashtag everywhereica.
Yes, I was gonna tell you. Yeah, that's the thing. But I'm not saying like I don't feel it anymore. But I guess it's like it decreased. It decreased like that feeling because uh I I mean, the more you grow up and experience more things, the more you realize that it's okay not to be out there all the time. Like you have that time for yourself and for your family and friends as well, which is as precious and important.
Okay. Well, we don't want to hold you for too long, but do you have time to answer another question? Yes?
I'm
Okay.
here. I joined Faith and Melody so that I could join even like the topic discussion. I'm just walking around here right now because we're done with the track and field.
Well, the next thing that we want to ask really for this part of our discussion is why do you think social media plays such a big role in FOMO, in the fear of missing out?
It's because I'm a social media person. I see everything there. So things that are out there in the world, like places, I love traveling, right? So feeling FOMO for me pops out when I see, for example, people on my feed going around and traveling, and I'm like, man, I want to go there, and I'm like, I feel like I'm missing out because I'm here and I'm doing this instead, right? Which actually, it's also like doing or experiencing something new and making memories. So I think social media has a lot of impact when it comes to feeling FOMO because it also it's like it kind of influences you to compare what other people are doing to what you're doing, which is like what we always kind of remind ourselves and also our friends or everyone listening too, like we all have our own path and our own timeline, so we shouldn't compare each other to others, especially on social media, because social media is a platform where we share mostly like happy things, right? And so you wouldn't know what's going on behind the pictures or like um beyond the pictures that you see online, right? Or like the videos that you see online. So maybe someone is struggling or having like worries and stuff, but you wouldn't know that because they post happy and cheery stuff. So I think one thing about social media is that they portray a lot of things, but that doesn't mean that uh, it's just that, if that makes sense. So pretty much what we can do is like compare ourselves to our previous selves to
Yeah,
be better.
yeah. It's like I see people like especially when we go out to dinner and stuff, right? Erica and Henry, like you see them take a million photos, but then they only post one because they're always
Yeah.
trying to find the best photo, right, to post on social media. But Henry, let's get your thoughts on this as well, Henry. Like, why do you think social media plays a big role on FOMO? Oh,
Um,
actually, sorry, Erica, do you have if you need to go? Did you want to give our final shout out?
Okay, thank you so much for having me very quickly here on INCRadio Faith and Melody. Just greetings to everybody here in the district of Britain South and to my family there in the Philippines, De Leon family in Lemery, Batangas, and Solocino family there in Bacoor, Cavite, or San Nicolas, Bacoor, Cavite. And also to my family here, Arabel, who is not hosting today. Because we're here. And then Arian, Eric Samuel, Eric Daniel, and mom Annie. Congrats because I know that some of us won certain games. So see you, see you, see you. Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to join us, Erica.
No worries. Bye.
Right. Yeah, sorry, Henry. Let's go ahead and get your thoughts because I like what you shared earlier about how there's different reasons, different missing out, right? Some of them are good, some of them can be actually not so good for us. But also, since in this part of our discussion, social media, something that we all have generally, why do you think it plays such a big role in FOMO?
So, like Erica was saying, a lot of us now in our normal day-to-day life, social media is part of our routine. Waking up in the morning, checking how many comments you got on the last post that you had, checking if you got any messages from, some of the posts that you had in response to the places that you've been, or, oh, that was so cool what you posted. Oh, I found something better than you, which you don't want to hear that sometimes. Um, but social media is a big role because, I mean, it's your peers. When it comes to social media, who are you connected with? You're connected with your family. You're connected with your friends. You're connected with those who are about the same career or same interests, same age, same generation. And so when you are connected to a lot of uh let's see, 300 I think is an average amount, that's just a rough guess, and you see 100 of them are about of the same age as you, and you see them uh hit these milestones in their life. One of the biggest ones, oh, it got married, they all get married, and then all of a sudden, why am I not married? And then you start to think about, is something wrong with me? So there's a lot of things that happen in there, in all these social media posts, where you start to really just compare. That's just the natural reaction, is to look at yourself and you see, do I have that? Why don't I have that? What can I do to get there? Then the spiral of thinking, sometimes negative, unfortunately, starts to happen, and then you may get inspired sometimes, but sometimes you're not inspired to take certain changes to get you to where you want to go. So fear, I think the key word there is fear. Like, do you have a fear of missing out, or are you inspired to get there so you're not going to miss out, right? So if it's an encouraging type of thing that you see that is attainable, and it's something positive, and it's
Mm,
a goal for you to reach, then that's not fear of missing out. That's more of, oh, I want to get that. How do I get there? And that's why I got the drums, because I thought that was so cool that someone was able to, you make such great, interesting music that, you know, I'm not missing out if I'm doing my best to get there. But the thing that we need to be concerned about, worried about, not worried, but to be cautious about, is if there are things that we see that make us look down on ourselves, make us not appreciate what we have, then that is something that you may need to think about. Why do I have this fear of missing out? why am I looking myself in a certain way where it makes me not appreciate where I am, who I'm with, what I've already been given. And that's what social media can do sometimes is that when you start to compare. So it's not social media that is making us feel this way. It's what's happening in someone's individual situation and how they respond to it. A lot of things will happen in life that are happening around us, but we can also choose how we respond to the things that we see. We can celebrate in the joys that people want to share. Uh, I share my milestones and my joys because my mom is in the Philippines, my loved ones are back in Hawaii, and I want them to see that I'm okay. Um, that there are nice things to see here in Europe. There are uh, we're not in any harm or any danger. We're able to travel freely, and we're able to see some of the sites that some of my family have never seen yet, and they want to see. And so they might be missing out, and then some of them will fly over here so that they don't miss out. So there's some encouragement to that when they see some of the social media posts. So it's kind of a choice to some extent as to how you respond to what you see online, to let it inspire you to get to where you want to go.
I like that. That's a great way to think about it because that it's not all negative. It's like what you said. It's kind of how you take it in and how it affects you, how it changes you. If it's something that drives you, right, to work harder, if it drives you to become a better version of yourself, right, to grow and to learn new skills, maybe like what you're trying to do, like with drumming, right? I don't know if you got that inspiration from something else, but maybe go, oh, I want to see if I can be coordinated and learn how to play the drums. People post all of these different things, and many times it's a way for it's like we set a goal to try and achieve something similar, right? Because like a lot of the things that you see there is like people going on their first holiday perhaps over the past century or not century, like decade. They're building their first house, right? They've just graduated from a course that they've been studying for over 6 years or something like that. You've seen them posting all of the hard work that they've gone through, and now they've accomplished something. Like that gives you some inspiration to work towards something. But it's true. Others, because we're so connected with social media, there's other things where it may not be something that's beneficial. Like if it's something that gives you anxiety, is like, oh, I don't have the latest smartphone. And as we know, there's like it's around that time of year when companies are releasing new models of their smartphones and things. And like you see these people, it's like, oh, they got the latest one. I fear that if I don't get it now, I'm gonna be left out or I'm not getting the latest thing. And all of that could be something that's negative, right? It's like, do you really need it? Is it really impacting you that you don't have the latest model of this, of that, right? So comparison is really easy now because of how connected we are with social media. And the thing that both you and also Erica mentioned, nobody posts bad pictures of themselves, right? Nobody posts the challenges most of the time. They post all the good things. Nobody posts photos of you doing the laundry. They post photos of you looking good already in the clothes that you're wearing, right? It's always that. It's the fancy food, it's the beach, it's the holiday, it's the perfect moment. That's why people take 100 photos and they only post one because they're trying to get the best angle, the best lighting. They have filters now. They have things on their phone that you can remove stuff. And it's like as a picture, even really a real picture, because how much has this been edited? And that might cause you to create some sort of anxieties like, oh, I need to be like this and I need to be like that, right? So it really depends on where it's driving you to and what changes it's making to your character, especially to your values, right? Like how is it affecting your values by you being influenced by the things that you're, looking through on social media. So it really does play a big role with regards to that. But let's go ahead. Let's say hello, and we read a couple of the comments that we have there in our live chat. Firstly, actually, I want to read this one from, I think I pronounced it correctly, Jonna Rubik. I said, my toddler is definitely FOMO. He never wants to take a nap, knowing his older brothers are still awake, right? I think I've had something this similar as well, where our daughter just doesn't want to go to sleep. because it feels like, it doesn't, there's something exciting happening, even though there's not. But we kind of like get that as an example. It's kind of like that. It's like, if I go to sleep now, if I take a nap, then I might miss out on, I don't know, ice cream or something. So I guess kids kind of like get that idea as well. But hello to everyone that's there. We've got everyone still tuned in and listening. Rubik Joshua, Jonah Rubik as well. We've got Rachel, and we've also got, of course, our executive producer, Faith and Melody, Desa Senas, saying special birthday greetings to Sister Journey Kahayag from the Faith and Melody Ohana. So happy birthday to Sister Journey. I know Kuya Rod Kahayag usually is here in the chat, but I believe they might be celebrating or might be on holiday. But it's nice that, happy birthday to Sister Journey and to them as well. And yes, so that's basically the first part of our discussion. We've got a lot more to talk about, especially when we're talking about being present, appreciating where we are right now, even though we're looking at all these things on social media. We've got a lot more to talk about. Saying hello to everyone there. Hello to Lani as well, saying hello to us, Faith and Melody Ohana. But before we continue with our discussion, let's go ahead. We'll take a quick musical break. The next two songs that we'll be listening to are titled Live a New Life and More Than We Asked For. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this short break.
All the old ways I will leave behind, 'cause it's time to live a new life. Thus life tomorrow won't be the same, 'cause I've changed all of my old ways. Oh, I don't wanna be parted, so I've gotta prove that all that I do, that I don't wanna be parted. The way that I live is new. Live a new life for Christ. Leave our old ways behind, because His life for me He gave, and so I will live by faith. New life, new life.
so many things we need for us to live along. We're bound for the challenges, many cries from battles, yet He did not abandon us. These wounds from hardships, we thought we could no longer withstand. Through our prayers, He hears and answers us. Someday we will receive everything that we aspire. Our hope will never fade for the grace He has in store. Because once He answers us, He gives us more than we ask for. If today we feel gloomy and blue on the things we've been through, it seems so far and untrue. But life goes on and on. We're happy to move on because with Him the battle's won. These wounds from hardships, we thought we could no longer withstand. Through our prayers, He hears and answers us. Someday we will receive everything that we aspire. Our hope will never fade for the grace He has in store. Because once He answers us, He gives us more than we asked for. More than we ask for. Each day, each night comes, He is there for us. In this world full of darkness, He's the only one who bestows us. More than we ask for. Someday we will receive everything that we aspire. Our hope will never fade for the grace He has in store. Because once He answers us, He gives us more than we asked for. Oh, He gives us, yes, He gives us more than we asked for.
Welcome back, everyone. We've been talking about the fear of missing out, FOMO, as they call it, especially when you're looking through your social media and you're seeing all the posts and pictures and all the fancy things that people are doing and all the exciting things that people are up to. We're going to pivot a little bit and just talk about a little bit on the present. So let's go ahead and ask this question, which is really about recalling a time when you were so focused on the present that you didn't think about what you were missing, right? What made that moment special when you were focused on the present with, whoever it might be, whatever it might be. So Henry, do you have an example for us when you were so focused that you didn't even think about other things that you might be missing out on?
So at work and even in performing my duties in my locale, I have a lot of leadership roles, and so as a leader, we have to be focused on what's in front of us. Right, there are those who follow, who are watching you very closely. You set an example for how to proceed. You set an example of the emotion, your actions, the words that you say. Everything is very looked at by those who follow you. And so um, I have to be focused. I have to look at what's in front of me. I have to pay attention to exactly what I'm doing. And there's nothing that should ever distract me. So every day at work, I don't have time to look at what's going on outside of me or outside of the workplace. When I'm fulfilling my duties, I don't have time to look outside of of the chapel compound or wherever I'm at. I need to be present at that moment. There's nothing that I can miss. The only thing that I would miss if I wasn't paying attention is what's happening right in front of me, and we wouldn't be able to accomplish our projects, our tasks, our duties. And if I were on my phone scrolling as a leader, looking through what's happening around us, and my those who I lead will probably do the same thing. They'll take out their phone and they'll just copy my actions. And so it's really just about um understanding that where you are is what matters at that point in time. And that if you needed to be somewhere else, you would already have been there. You would have already taken the steps to go there. Unless you forgot something, that's different. If you really forgot, oh no, I forgot to get something that I left at home. That's a different story. But when it comes to being present at the moment and understanding that what you have in front of you, especially if you're with your family, if you're with your friends, you're with those who you haven't seen in a long time, you know, that's the gift that we really need to treasure. That we are there to have that moments, that short period of time with them. And this kind of goes back to some of the more popular notions out there of, oh, you go out with your friends and all of you are just looking down at your phones. It's like, be present at the moment. Why are we all socializing together but then we're all looking down at the restaurant at the table? We're all looking at our phones or just watching social media of our friends. Oh, our friends went there, but you're with your friends right now at that table. You're having lunch. So being present at the moment is also having value to who are there with you at the moment. So it's a great reminder for all of us to always remember who we are surrounded next to with, especially with our families, you know, to be able to cherish the time that we have with them every meal, every day, every time we're together. And sometimes I have to tell my kids, okay, can you put your devices away and let's spend our time together. Then, as my role as head of the household, that's what I have to engage in conversations. What did you do today in school? What did you have for lunch? So I can bring them into the moment that we have. And so these are the times, or every day, I think we need to be present where we are at and focus on the moment that we have, because we don't know if this is the last moment that we'll have.
Yeah, it's crazy like how I've noticed as well when you're just observing, because I like to observe, like just people watch as they call it, right? When you're just like, waiting for your commute, your bus, or you're just at a restaurant or something, you're just watching other tables or watching other people. Many times they're always looking down because they are on their phones. They're looking at like what's trending, what's the new, dance challenge and all of this stuff, right? And just updating their social media and whatnot. But you're out in a restaurant, because I remember when we were like younger, like single digit age, and when we were kids or teenagers even, you know, when you would be with your friends, you would be with your friends. You would actually be looking at them in the eyes, talking to them, making conversation, and not just showing each other the next meme that you thought was funny or things like that. I guess like generations are different, but in terms of connection, like the connection is all on through their phones, right? Where it's not as an actual human connection, right? So it's kind of like one of those things where, for me, it's true, like with, especially many of us have duties where, like maybe in the leadership, or we have some duties in church when we're performing our duties in church in the worship service, right? We're focused there. We don't allow our phones to distract us. All those little notifications going off is usually the most distracting thing, because even though you don't want to check it, if you hear that little notification ding, like you just feel compelled to pick up your phone and be like, who was that or what was that, right? Oh, I need to check this or whatever. So we don't have that, right? And that's why for me, one of the most special times that I can recall, and I don't worry about anything else that might be going on or might be missing out on, or what's happening on social media, is when I'm with my family. It's true, right? When you're, especially at the dinner table, or the funny thing is, whenever we go away, like not even overseas, but just like doing a staycation around our state, we end up spending time as a family. We are not very much on our phones. We find, right? We actually don't take that many photos. So we actually do forget to take photos because we're just present. We're in the moment. We're creating memories. So I never see it as fear of missing out on what's going on in the internet land, but I see it as gaining memories with your wife, gaining memories with your family, with your daughter, whatever it might be for you. It's just about putting your phone away and just realize that you're with people, right? People that you care about, people that you love, and that's kind of like what makes it special is that you're building memories with them. One of the things that my wife taught me is that every getaway is an adventure, right? And you can't experience the adventure if you're just on your phone. So you really just got to appreciate where you are, take in the scenery, and just explore it like as if you're a kid that has never seen that before, right? You just explore it with like new eyes. That's just exciting for every little thing that might be there. So I think that's very, very important because one of the things that a lot of people get distracted on are trends and those viral things that happen on social media, especially they following people who are popular, right? Because maybe they have a lot of followers, they have a lot of likes on their posts. And many times, that younger generation from us, Henry, let's just admit it, like they're younger than us, they're like into the whole, what's the next dance trend that's going on? Or what's the next food challenge? Or what's the next thing? And then, they want to be a part of that, right? Those little trends that's happening. What's people wearing? What's the most popular clothes to wear or hairstyle or makeup or tech gadget, like all of these little things. So what we want to ask next, actually, we've got a couple of comments there in our live chat. Let's go ahead and just give them a moment to read a couple of those comments. So Des shares with us, no FOMO when focused on work and goals and happily doing it, which is, I agree. If you're really focused on what you want to achieve, I'm sure like if you want to learn a new instrument, you're focused on that. I've had moments when I've tried to learn a new language. So usually I'm not worried about anything else. I'm just focused on, learning Japanese. There's also shares. Sad thing is that people use or look at their phones deliberately to avoid human interaction. Yes, I've noticed that. Have you ever had that, Henry, where you actually just go and say hello to someone, but then they don't know how to respond because they're on their phone?
That's the dilemma I have is that I think people really want to connect with others, but
Mm,
they don't want to be seen as awkward. So they just have their phones and they're looking at it, and it's a trap. It's a what do they call it? Like um it's a false impression. People really want to connect, but if you give off nonverbal communication, such as looking at your phone, it doesn't allow people to connect. So there are
yeah.
people, yes, who will intently have their phones out because they're just shy and they don't really want to talk to people. But I've come to find more that they actually do want to talk to people. They just don't want to stand there and smile, have and be awkward and just like, put themselves out there. And I get it. You don't want to look like you're trying too hard sometimes, but when your phone is blocking your face, you don't really leave much of an opening for people to connect with you. So yes, I do agree that the phone does get in the way, and sometimes we just need to be more conscious about being more open to people coming up to us.
It's almost the equivalent of crossing your arms and having like a sour look on your face. You're not approachable. You're not approachable if you're looking down on your phone. And people do it because they feel uncomfortable or awkward, I guess, of the situation. But people sometimes just want to say hello, right? And connect. But I get what you mean there. So that's so true. Rachel also shares here on the chat. One gets so busy at times, so I continue to remind myself that I should be present at that time. As a parent, I've learned to enjoy each moment spent with my children. Time will fly by fast. Agreed, especially to those who are parents. Children, they grow up so fast. And one of the things that we've learned as parents ourselves is to really savor that time because it just goes by so quickly. And the thing is, they do remember it. It's like they're their foundation as they're growing up. They always say something along the lines like the first 7 years are the formative years of a child, and you really got to make them feel that you're present, right? That you're there, that you're paying attention, that you're making the eye contact and all of those things. And what we find is that if we're always just become more accustomed on looking on our screens, on our phones, it becomes challenging for us to look at people in the eyes when they want to connect with us, right? And we kind of like lose that skill or lose that ability to make that human connection. Rachel also adds, now you see social trends and one may compare if they are missing out, especially the young ones, the younger generation. It's all about being in with the crowd, right? Being in with what's happening or what's popular. And Jonah Rubik also shares people need to relearn social skills and social etiquette, which is true. It's kind of like part of that whole thing. So really, since we're talking about trends, let's go ahead and wrap up that question. Like, what's a lesson you've learned about chasing trends or feeling FOMO versus enjoying where you are, what you have, the people that you're with, like presently where you are. Henry, have you ever actually chased any trends in the past?
So that's actually a very good question because I am not a trendy guy at all. I don't really chase uh what's popular out there. I'm pretty stubborn when it comes to my clothes. My wife will tell you that I have clothes that are, probably I should replace them. My fashion sense may need some updating. Um, but if there are some trends I try to follow, it's technology. Um, I don't need the latest iPhone, though. Uh, I'm a big
Not
artificial.
sponsored. Not sponsored though.
Oh yes, sorry. I don't need the latest smartphone, but Um, I do like to keep up to date with artificial intelligence. I'm a big artificial intelligence
Yes, yes.
fan. So with the latest technology, it needs more hardware, and so I can become pretty trendy when it comes to wanting to get the latest hardware out there. And but I realize, and I've learned ways to not have to jump on the trend and really just use somebody else's hardware, if that's a better way of putting it. So there are ways around it, but at the same time, I have to be realistic that that trend is a little too expensive. I can't make artificial intelligence at home. There are tools out there that I can use uh, through subscriptions and other means that are a lot cheaper. There are ways to do it at home, which makes it so much more creative. It looks so fun, really. But realistically, I do have to make a wise choice, and I'm really not missing out on anything if I choose to do it in a much more efficient and correct way. And so, but if I enjoy what I have, enjoy what I have access to, the different uh, AI tools that exist, I can really do the exact same thing what I'm trying to accomplish. So there are ways to um, accomplish what you're trying to do without that fear. So again, the key word is fear, right? Fear of missing out. I'm not. I don't have that fear if I can accomplish the goal in another way. So what it does is it inspires me. It inspires me to find a solution in other means. It's more of inspiration of missing out. So
Ooh, I
Iyomo,
like
I'll
that.
call it something else, right? Call it inspired to. I don't know. Iyomo sounds a little weird, but it's fuel of missing out. Rather, change the letter to something else that I can stay up to date with technology because it is my career. It is something that I have to be aware of, something that I have to learn for the sake of keeping up to date. So I'm not missing out. I can enjoy exactly what I have with some creative means, but I can still accomplish what I want to accomplish.
I like that. I like what you said. Like it's basically you're keeping in the know, keeping in the know of what's happening, what's the new trends, or what's the new updates in technology, which is important, especially if it impacts the role that you're playing or the work that you're doing. Because what I found as well, it's true when it comes to the trend stuff. Like especially the ones that I'm not really interested in. Like fashion or like the new hairstyles and like what people are doing, especially celebrities. I know a lot of people love to follow celebrities from the US, celebrities from Philippines, and all other things, right? So when you're chasing trends, I always feel like you're chasing. It feels empty, right? Whereas if you take the time to appreciate what God has blessed you with, but like what you actually have, like what you have with you, right? That can bring you peace, that can bring you joy and contentment. Those things are the things that last, right? Especially when it's like you're able to know, oh, okay, there's this thing that's out there, but really I am able to do what I can here, and I know that this exists and I can work on whatever I have. So it really depends on what the trend is, right? Like obviously you can't create your own AI, like unless you're very smart and knowledgeable to do all the coding and all the models behind it, right? But when it comes to other trends, especially the trends that people get influenced with for a short period of time, usually these are trends that that influencers really promote, right? There's a new trend on this new way to cut your hair, or this new skincare routine, right? I've always heard this one called glass skin and whatnot, and these different styles of have you ever worn bell bottom shoes, bell bottom pants and things like that, right? They go in and out of fashion.
No, yeah. So when it comes to clothes like that, I've never
It's not
jumped.
our thing, right?
It's not our thing. I will say that the only trend I kind of jumped on in high school was baggy pants because
Oh yes, yes, yes.
it was comfortable, right? It wasn't tight. I don't like the tight pants trend that is happening right now. It's you can't move, you can't maneuver. So, you know, I still have baggy pants. It's not as baggy, but I mean, I think if the trend doesn't make you break your wallet and it doesn't hurt you, then it doesn't make you look goofy. I think
Yeah.
some trends are okay.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, so basically, it's just about that. It's like listening that there are trends that that doesn't really impact, especially when it comes to like your character, your values. But you do also have to be careful. Like, what is it causing you? Is it causing you anxiety because you don't have it, or is it just giving you extra knowledge? Going, okay, this is available there, but I'm happy like with what I have here. I don't need to change anything. That's not my thing, right? So that's not. It doesn't really impact me. We've got a couple of comments here. So there was like from Jonah Rubik saying sourdough starter homemade everything trend where people actually I remember this during all the lockdown periods that we had when everyone started baking their own bread at home and they started making their own bread. So that's true. But he also added Christian way of living trend. I like that, right? Because I know there's also because a lot of the younger generations and people now are on social media. Don't forget, we also have our own social media platforms on on the Instagram, on TikTok, and all those other things. We have our own social media platforms there where we promote Christian values and things that are based around our Christian beliefs. So definitely something that we should follow more and listen more, and not be taken away from all the other trends that our people are trying to influence us with. Uh, Des shares with us, if I know that others do not know, I'm happy I'm not alone. And he also says, Rubik also shares with us the latest trend that makes your coffee at home instead of buying out in the shops, right? So that's another one, which is true. Like making your own coffee saves you money. I've stopped buying coffee. Henry, I don't know, are you a coffee drinker? But
Yeah, definitely. So, in me and my wife, we do like to go grab coffee when we're out sometimes. As of late, since I've moved to Germany, I've really just been making my own coffee. And if you do the math, I've been saving up to I don't know $50 a week just by not buying coffee, and I'm just
yeah,
making it at home. So I'm a big coffee drinker. I need it to start my day. I need it for that metabolism. I need it to think straight. So I'm team coffee all the way.
like I don't know what the price conversion is, but like here in Australia, a cup of coffee like at the shops will cost you like $6, $7 Australian. Whereas I've done the maths as well, like doing it, just making yourself a cup of coffee at home, it's roughly like I don't know 60 cents, right? So what you're saving over the course of a week, like you said, like $50 a week, like that can go towards something else, right? You can go towards a better treat, maybe getting yourself a new tech since you're a very techie guy, right?
Or a drum set.
Or a drum, exactly, or a drum set. So let's go ahead and ask this next one. What helps you stay focused on the people and the experiences that's right in front of you instead of what's on your phone? Go
So,
ahead, MD.
and that's the thing about maybe it's my age now, maybe it's state of having a family in front of me. So I can remember that there were times as a teenager or in college where I wasn't I didn't like where I was at, the people not necessarily the people who I was with. It's just that there were other places I had wanted to be in. It's because I knew of an event that was going on somewhere else that I couldn't afford. I couldn't get there. I couldn't fly somewhere. You know, the other people of my generation, they were experiencing traveling and doing things that, that I wanted to do. But fast forward to today, where I have my family in front of me. I have my friends, and shout out to the Rubiks there. We spend a lot of time together while we're here in Germany. Um, these are the times where you start to meet people. You get to know who they are. You realize you share the same values with your friends and your family, and you get to see each other's children grow up together, and you realize that what you have in front of you is really just so precious and so valuable that you laugh together. You have the very similar thoughts and views on certain things, and if you don't have similar views, you start to discuss your views and you start to find some levels of agreement. Oh, that's a good idea. I never thought about it that way. And then you start to find what's the word? The same melody. The melody between you and the people who you are with, it harmonizes. And you start to connect with the people in front of you, and that connection that you have with others who are with you, friends, family, anyone, it pulls you into that moment. And so maybe it's because I've experienced that a lot now, that the people I've come across living in Hawaii, uh, most of my life now coming to a new country and wanting to connect more with others, that connection that I've established with various people, with different cultures, different ways of thinking, that connection keeps me in the moment. So I think it's creating more of these connections, creating more of this uh, melodious interactions with the people that we come across with keeps me in the moment. So that helps me stay focused on the people in front of me. Is that uh, trying to find that melody together and having that uh, even if you don't have the same point of view, you start to share why you see things the way that you do, and you start to understand each other even more. And it's like, oh, I never saw it that way. So you learn something from each other, and then you're able to connect more. And so that's what I think helps me stay focused is the connections that I've built with the people that I've come across.
I don't think I can add any more to that because I totally agree. And I don't know, again, maybe you're right. It could be just as you get through life, like other things and other people's opinions of you and other thing likes on social media doesn't matter as much. Like it's all about being there for the people that that is actually important in your life, the people that you love, your family, right? The people who are actually going to be there, especially through the hard times. Like what Erica kind of alluded to earlier, where a lot of the times you're posting things that are, fabricated on social media. It's to show off. It's to make you look good. Nobody posts you crying. Nobody posts like the sad things or the challenges. But people are going through challenges, and the people that's going to be there to help you get through those challenges, to strengthen you, the people that you can, have that shoulder to cry on. They're the ones that you want to be connecting with. They're the ones that you want to be building those experiences with. So I think just being intentional of those connections, like getting your eyes off the phone, giving them eye contact, put the phone away so you don't have those distractions, especially when it's so hard nowadays to catch up with friends, right? So when you do catch up with friends, I think honestly the phone shouldn't be there because I feel like for me, it's rude if I were to be on my phone. You're giving me some of your time to catch up, to see how life is going, to talk, but then I'm like just on the phone, and technically that's actually just having a conversation with somebody else, right? So you're not respecting the other person. So you got to put that away, breathe in the experience, um, marinate in it, and really continue to build that connection with each other. So, and just be happy. Be happy with what you have and the people that you're with. because that's what's most important. They're gonna get you through everything. That's kind of like the people that will help you to overcome any challenges. The people in your life. There's actually quite a lot of comments coming up right now. So let me go ahead and give some time to read those out. But really, the next thing that we're going to ask, and for our Ohana that's tuned in with us, they can start sharing their answers, is how do you stop comparing your life to what you see online? But let me just read a few of these comments from earlier. Rubik Joshua says, as INC, as Church of Christ members, don't let the world influence you. You must influence the world. So if you know that song, that INC original music, that's a great song as well. Rachel's shares with us, keeping a positive mindset, making the most of each moment with your family and friends, entrusting our plans unto our Almighty God. And also, this is helping us share some messages from our Kuya Rod, who's actually having some trouble right now posting on the chat, but he is tuned in and listening. But from Kuya Rod, he shares here his acronym. We know that he's always sharing his acronyms here for our topic title, Being Present. The acronym that he's come up with, being engaged in nurtured, nurtured, yes. Gatherings, powers, relationships, especially sharing enthusiasm needed together. And Rachel adds more here. Our brothers and sisters in the church here have become our family, always willing to help one another. And we've got a few greetings as well. They're from Kuya John saying, happy listening po from Heidelberg cluster. Trisha Trisha Ikban, greetings from St. Louis, Missouri. That's saying hello to us there. And Rachel also added here, I've learned to appreciate everything I have and do my best to be present at that time. So let's continue on. How do you stop comparing your life to what you see online? And before you say the same thing, Henry, I think we're probably on the same page. I don't compare myself anymore, like to what other people are doing online. Like I have my own, I've realized that I'm on my own journey, right? I have my own experiences and challenges that's for me, right? That's kind of like what makes me as an individual unique. And I have learned to appreciate that. I've learned to love it, right? Whatever it is. Like people's situations are all different. Like, sure, we might, for example, share the same faith or we might go to the same school, but we all experience different things. So I've just learned to stop comparing and just enjoy and learn from the experiences that comes in my life. Henry, I don't know if you want to add anything else to that.
Yeah. So when you say how do you stop, I think we also have to ask why are you comparing? Um, there you have to do a little bit of self-evaluation as to why you're comparing in the first place. There are people who really are going through a situation where they're trying to find themselves, finding where they need to be, finding something to reach, and so it might require a little bit of a shift in mindset of of yes, comparison can sometimes be the thief of joy, right? Comparison can take
Yes,
away from
yes.
what you have already, not realizing you already have what you need, whatever you are trying to accomplish. Maybe you don't have everything at that moment, but you have a place to start. You know, the only direction you have is up if you're stuck in a hole. And so, um, I think there's some evaluation in terms of wondering, okay, why does this make me sad to see that these people are celebrating these victories and I'm not? Or like you said, there are other things that is social media doesn't capture. There are thousands of photos, only one is chosen. Like Erica said earlier in the broadcast, that we only see the good in social media. Nobody wants to post the bad, and they only see the best outcome of what someone is going through. I mean, you can't see what someone is actually going through behind all that one happy picture, one perfect picture that they took. That person is probably struggling the most, as opposed to what that image, that perfect image, is displaying. And so, yeah, comparison can be uh, a dangerous choice sometimes.
Yes.
Choosing to compare rather than choosing to what's the next best step that I can take to get to where I really want to be? If where you are is not what where you really want to be, how can I make the situation better? Am I getting to achieve the goals that I'm trying to set forth for myself? Do I want to go to Paris? I see all these posts about Paris. I want to go there. Okay, so how can I go there? What steps can I take to see one of the wonders of the world that people talk about? I've been to Paris, and it's not as great as people claim it to be, right? It's okay. It's it's a lot of hype. Is hype the word you want to say? That, oh, I gotta go to Paris and see that, or I want to go to New York and be in the middle. For one, I don't like crowds, and so when I went to Paris, there was a lot of crowds, and maybe that took away some of the hype and the joy. So things are not always what they seem. Maybe you really don't want to go there. Maybe you're not missing out on anything, right? So maybe the comparison of what you think you're comparing to is not all that's built up to be, right? And so, like you said, Jay, earlier, was that, yeah, I don't compare anymore, because I'm so focused in the present, especially because I'm head of a household. I have to be focused on the present. There's just so much things that I need to put my attention on. I don't have time to compare, and really, comparison is just so exhausting. Um, if I start to compare, then it's I start to go down a rabbit hole of questions of, why don't I have that? I have so much more to be thankful for nowadays that I don't need to compare nowadays. But I try to help others out who may want to better their situation, give them a little advice if they need it, and try to be a kuya if I can to those who need a little bit of a redirection, or just maybe a smile. 'Cause sometimes people just need a little bit of a lift up to kind of change their perspective on things and to help them to get to where they want to go.
I like that. Just remember that there's a lot of things to be grateful for with what you have. And again, comparison is not all bad, especially if it's something that's going to drive you to become a better version of yourself. But if it's going to give you anxiety, if it's going to make you sad, if it's going to cause depression, right? You don't want that to be the cause of it. You don't want to be comparison should give you some motivation perhaps to, explore a new skill, or, work towards a new goal, right? But really you should be focused on gratitude, right? On the blessings that God has given you, on the people that's there in your life. Count your blessings, right? Count all the little things, because they all add up, and you don't realize how blessed you are. Especially, you know, from the first one really is that we are members of the Church of Christ. That's one of the greatest blessings, that we still have our membership. So when we have all of these things and you count all the little blessings that God has given you, that you have in your life, there's really makes it less likely for you to compare. And again, it could be just because Henry and I are just a little bit further along in our journey. But I do totally agree with what you said. Comparison is the thief of joy, because it'll make you forget of the things that you should be happy about. There's just so much things that you should be grateful for. So it's really, and the other thing that we mentioned earlier is that nobody posts bad pictures of themselves on social media, right? When they go on that fancy vacation, they don't put a picture of how much it cost them. They put a picture of the credit card bill, right? They probably put a whole bunch of filters before they put their photo up, right? It's just a reminder for everyone that every single highlight reel that you see on social media, there are struggles and there are challenges that you don't see, right? There's always that. So you got to keep in mind that it's not the full picture. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and read a few of these comments that we have here before we take another quick break and get into the final part of our discussion. Jonah Rubik says, a group of friends before, it was a rule to leave our phones in our car when we go out to eat. That's a great rule, right? So at least you can have more connection with everyone. We've still got a few hellos there from Trisha and Rachel and Jonah. He also says, as I get older, comparing my life to others is non existent. I respect my time now with things that are worthy to me, such as dedicating my life and time to God. So that's a great response there. Rubik also shares, maybe you can compare how you are in your faith then and now and see if you have improved or need to improve only to better your service to God. So that's a great example. Like there are certain comparisons that can make you better, right? Comparing like, have you grown? You know, one of the things that I've compared myself is how much better of a husband am I now compared to when I first got married, right? And there's been a big change, really. And there's areas still that we can all grow and become better in. And it's the same thing with our faith, right? Faith isn't fixed, it needs to grow, right? It needs to be worked on. It needs to be like it's like a muscle. It needs to be exercised and developed so that you can use it when you need it. And generally, you need it when you are going through the challenges and the struggles and the hard decisions, right? But your faith needs to be worked on and improved. And that's really where you need, you know, we always, so one of the things we talk about, especially as Christians, is that we need to be growing, right? We need to be abounding. We need to always become better. So that's one of the things that we need to also work on is how is our Christian life? How is our faith growing? How has it grown? Trisha also shares with us, when I feel like I am comparing, in other words, a clean house, I remind myself that my house is messy with toys or loose socks because my kids are playing and not on gadgets. My wife says the same thing. Like when we have like when our daughter leaves her toys around, like be happy that you have a daughter leaving her, you know, you have a daughter that's playing and that she's happy, right? When there's like they say like when there's dirty dishes in the sink, be happy that you actually ate some food. That's why there's dishes in the sink. Otherwise, there wouldn't be anything there, right? So you gotta remember where you need to be grateful for in the certain situations. I think last week's topic we were talking about getting your clothes dirty, especially when the kids, they don't mean it, but at least you know that they're happy and they're enjoying and they're eating and things like that. So, you know, you got to see the good side when it comes to comparison. Rachel also shares, if comparing, you reflect on that situation and see how you can change for the better, living a Christian way of life and appreciate each blessing God has given you. We've got Alex Ariola saying greetings to everyone from the District of Orange County, California. So thank you so much for tuning in with us. So before we do continue with the rest of our final part of our discussion, let's take a quick break. We'll listen to a short song, which is titled Unstoppable. Don't go anywhere.
Victories, moving forward to make more history. Let's see more than a century. Evidently, this is heaven sent, God given energy. We're never getting tired. The bar, we raise it high. We're not just trying to get by. More properties we buy, more countries we reach, more converts baptized in the race that we're running. Man, it seems that we fly. In God we trust, on Him we rely. Always giving us strength, the faith, the light, the love, the hope, the life that we need. All His miracles we see for the INC. His goodness and power can be seen in our victories.
With God's help, we're striving. With God's love, we're shining. All the blessings God gives, all the blessings He receives, will only help to further our victory.
With God's help, we become unstoppable. With God's help, everything is possible. All of the accomplishments are remarkable. Others can hate, but they still can't stop it though. We move forward, never ever stumble. With God blessing us, we still stay humble. And through the struggle and all of the trouble, our work we redouble. And look at what it's come to. We're global now, we're not done yet. Working before the sunrise and way past the sunset. From where the sun rises to where the sun sets, always putting in work, that's what His Son said. We're going farther than the seas and beyond our limits, because God is on our side. We will never be finished. Our hands keep on working and we still stay winning. Made it to 100, that's just the beginning.
With God's camp, we're thriving. With God's help, we're rising. All His teachings He bestows, all His teachings will oppose. We march on and on for the victory. Thousands of fellow men who are studying His teaching. Millions of fellow men who are learning His teaching. Yeah. Through the worship building, standing tall. Christ continues to grow with. God's great name made truly known. More than 100 years of God's countless blessings. Everything made possible. More than 100 years of His of never ending. Through the good and the bad, we remain victorious. We return all the praises to a God so glorious.
This is INCRadio, DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
It doesn't take something big to show love. The right and thoughtful choices made with care can make a parent smile and turn an ordinary day into something special.
Dishes done, floors clean. A surprise mom and dad when they get here.
Wow! Hello, son.
Mom, you're early.
The house looks great.
Plus, I'm done with my assignments.
Oh, really? Oh. You always do your chores without being told. We see your effort, Carl, and we're proud of you. Here, we got you something.
What? How do you know I want this? Thank you.
A child who brings joy to their parents is blessed even without asking. In the same way, when we live to please God, He gives us more than we could ever hope for.
A reminder from Made in Australia, brought to you by INCRadio Australia Satellite Studio.
Welcome back, everyone. We've been talking about being present. We've covered FOMO, or the fear of missing out, especially when you're browsing through social media and seeing all the pretty pictures and all the fancy dinners and vacations that people are doing, and how we can be present and be grateful for what we have. So as we wrap up with this final part of our discussion, let's ask this question about the role of gratitude, right? We've talked about gratitude a little bit. So let's just ask this question about what role does gratitude play in overcoming the fear of missing out and being tempted to do, to trying to copy other things? And how can we make gratitude a daily habit? Henry, you want to kick us off here?
So gratitude, being thankful, you have to understand and know exactly what you have, your situation, and it's not just material things, right? It's the situation that you're in, the circumstance that you're in, good or bad. The fact that you have something in front of you is really something to be thankful for. It's a continuous process of evaluating where you are, recognizing the situation that you're in, and being thankful for that launch pad, that lily pad, whatever you want to call it, that you can leap from, you can take off from to the next step to becoming a better you tomorrow. There's some quotes out there that every day I'll be 1% better than what I was yesterday. So if you continually find that progress, continually aim for something better than what you are for today, no matter how bad your situation is now, in those unfortunate times where you accidentally compare yourself to someone else that you're seeing of something that you kind of want for yourself, not in necessarily that you have envy, but more of like a goal or a redefined target that you want to accomplish that you never thought about. Like, hey, maybe I want to do what he's doing. He has a successful career. She is where I want to be. She lives in a place that is surrounded by so much food that I want to end up living there in Japan. I want to go there, live in Hawaii. I want to go live in Australia. Wherever the case may be, that you can find inspiration uh, by seeing certain things. But being thankful and acknowledging where you are now gives you the realization that I'm in a place that I can choose my next step. I can choose how to respond to the cards I've been dealt with, the situation that I'm in. And then you can start to plan. And then you can start to move forward. But be grateful that you have the chance to choose. Being grateful to have an opportunity to move forward. Really, sometimes people can't move forward. People may not have that ability to make certain things better for themselves. But if you do, when you do, when you realize what you have and you can make a difference to making yourself better today, you can also be grateful for that opportunity to have that life, to have that uh, the ability to find progress. And when you start moving forward, being 1% better every day, you realize I'm a lot further along than I never realized. And fast forwarding to my life here in Germany and everything, I'm so grateful to have my family with me experiencing these things that we've never thought. I never knew I was going to be here in Germany. We've been here in 3 years, fast forward to 3 years of being here. I'm so grateful that uh, I'm in my own dilemma. I know what are we going to do next year, but I have to be thankful for where I am now, thankful that the blessings that we've had here, the connections that we've made. Um, but now I can start planning. Now I can start to realize and see, okay, how are we going to do? How are we going to move forward? Find more progress. Find more. Find a way home. Really, because
Yeah.
we can't be here in Germany forever. So, but I'm really not worried because God has been with us for all this time, and I think that I'm so thankful for what we have now. I don't think we have anything to worry about.
I like that. I like that. It's true that gratitude shifts your focus away from what you're lacking to what you've been blessed with, right? What you already have. But I like that when it comes to comparison, right? It shouldn't really be a fear, but it should drive you in some way for a goal or what the next step might be or the growth that you might need to take, right? But you need to be grateful for what God has blessed you with and the things that God has given in your life. So for me, I think journaling, yeah, I know a lot of people do that. I personally am not much of a writer. I don't journal, but I do spend a lot of time meditating, like in terms of prayer, right? In prayer, especially when you're having your own personal prayer, you get to take all the time that you need. And generally, one of the things that's most important in our prayer, especially as Church of Christ members, is that we are always praying for the things that we are thankful for, right? Especially if it's a personal one and you can take all the time that you want. You realize it's almost like a form of journaling when you lay out everything that you're thankful for to our Almighty God. And not only that, but then the next steps that you might need to take, you can ask for that guidance. You can ask for that sign. You can ask for the people that you need in your life to help you get to the next stage that you have in your life, right? So that's why prayer is very important, not only to ask for the things that we want, but also to be thankful and grateful for the things that we have been blessed with. And when you're thankful and grateful and you start to realize that you've been blessed, you have so much things to be thankful for, that really you don't need to be comparing for other things and wanting to be envious or wanting to be having that anxiety to have that. Actually, I read a couple of comments here. I'm gonna read it out now. Trisha says, for her, moved away from friends from Germany, Rubik and Innocentios. So much fear of missing out, so much FOMO, but grateful to have met them, gained more church family, grateful to know we have lifelong friendships. So you can see there that even though there's a little bit, there's FOMO there of what you might be missing out from Hawaii, what you'll be missing out from Germany, but you've met people. You should be grateful, right? On how much more people you have in your life now and how much more people you can call as your family. Zenaida Novesteros is, of course, saying hello to us there. And Rachel also shares being thankful for every day you are given, for every day you are given, and being content with what you have, sharing your blessings with others. that God has given you. Um, Oliver Gabrintina is saying understanding is key to overcome FOMO, knowing our capacity and appreciating what we have. But FOMO can serve as an inspiration moving forward. Like Brother Henry can use FOMO to make their family's next move closer to us here in South Central States. There you go. Chanel is there. Chanel Manalili saying hello to us. Hi to Kuya Henry and Kuya Jay, and to everyone there. We're asking this next question since we're all talking about gratitude. How does remembering God's blessings help us feel fulfilled? Can you share something with us there, Henry?
I mean, the greatest blessing that we have is being members of the Church of Christ and being able to call on our Almighty God. And really, what is there to fear when you have that? You're not missing out on anything if you have God on your side. And so wherever you are at the moment is where we were intended to be. So what are we missing? Are we really missing anything? That's the question we should ask. Uh, Maybe it's something to be transpired shortly,
Mm.
maybe a little bit longer. But at this point in time, are we really missing anything if you have God on your side? I think that's the question that needs to be a reminder to us is that we have what we need already. Um, but maybe something you desire for is yet to come. And that's where the patience comes in. And that's we can ask God for that. We can ask for God for that patience for uh, maybe more faith and more, to be thankful. Ask God to help you to be thankful for what you have and to recognize what we already have. Uh, I don't miss out on things, as we said in the beginning of our broadcast, because I'm so focused on what I have in front of me already. And I'm so thankful to God for that. So that's how I feel a lot fulfilled today. Um, being in INC Radio, I feel more fulfilled performing this. It's great, to be able to share the joy of what I've been experiencing in all of these broadcasts. So I'm not missing out anymore. Are you missing out on anything, Jay?
No, no, same thing. I don't feel like I'm missing out. I've got everything that I need, and you know, God's like been so good, right? In terms of everything, I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful for my wife. I'm thankful for my family. So, and thankful for the duty that we have, not only here on INC Radio, but I'm sure we also hold other duties in our respective areas wherever we're living. So, really thankful for everything that God gives to us, to his, to the members of the Church of Christ, to each one of us. That's something that we can take away. So, just to wrap everything up, final question: what is one thing you'll do differently this week to live in the moment? So, I know, Henry, you've already been talking about that you're not really much to compare to others and you don't really get FOMO, but we always can always improve in living more presently. Is there something that you think you can do a little bit differently? That 1%, that 1% better to live in the moment.
So I think every Sunday at 9 o'clock, my phone will show a little reminder of how much screen time I had. So here's my goal.
Ooh.
My goal is to have, even if it's a minute of less screen time, that's progress, right? So
Yes.
to have a little less progress, or sorry, a little less time spent on my phone. I'm really, like I said, into artificial intelligence, technology, the news, what's happening around me. But every time I'm on my phone is a time that I'm not in the present. So I will say I will try my best to be on my phone not as much this week as or not as much last week as I will be this week. If I'm saying that correctly. What about you, Jay?
Actually, it's the same thing because my phone's always been my biggest distraction. So I've actually picked up an app that it locks your phone so that you can focus on other things, right? And it's actually like a little game as well, so that if you are able to complete the set time, so for example, you set it to lock for like 20 minutes, you have a little character and it creates something that you can use to build out the little space that your character lives in, right? And if you interrupt it, then it kind of like it's sad and you can't do that. So it's almost like a challenge, an extra challenge for you to keep your phone locked and not get distracted by it. And I've been using it for the past couple of days and it's been a big help. So kind of like that thing where your phone tells you your screen time for the past week or the past day. mine has gone down a lot just because of this one app that I've been using to kind of like turn off the screen, right, and to keep it locked. And at least that gives me more time to be more focused, more attentive with the people that I'm with or with the task that I'm doing if I'm at work or working on a project or something like that. You're not distracted, right? So that's a pretty cool thing that you can do. Like, again, not really in AI, not really artificial intelligence, but more like manual intelligence of me locking the phone to do that. So yeah, there you go. There's always something that we can do. And let me just read this final comments there in our chat that we've got from Kuya John. Every day is a blessing from our God, and being an INC member, I feel fulfilled just by knowing that He promised us that when the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen. That's a great reminder there as well. And Chanel also shares, instead of choosing to stay home, I'll choose to go outside or hang out with people, a chance to make new memories. I love that. Like, be in the moment and go and hang out with the right people. So again, that's our discussion for today. Thank you to everyone. Just our closing Christian value here is God has placed us where we are for a reason, with good plans for our lives. Instead of comparing ourselves to others or social media, we can let go of FOMO, or that fear of missing out, live in the present, and be grateful for the lessons and blessings our Almighty God gives us. And before we close everything off, we've got our verse of the week prepared, which is titled, timely enough, Overcoming FOMO. So Kuya Tech, take it away.
Because of social media, it's so easy to get caught up and obsess over other people's experiences, what they're buying, eating, or even where they're able to go on vacation. And because of this, our social media feeds can make us feel anxious, envious, even demoralized, just because someone's curated post can make it seem like they're living a better life than our own. This feeling is often referred to as fear of missing out, or FOMO. But should we allow this feeling to consume us? I'm Brother Lowell Newcomb, and this is our verse of the week in Psalm 62, 5-8. But I stand silently before the Lord, waiting for Him to rescue me, for salvation comes from Him alone. Yes, He alone is my rock, my rescuer, defense and fortress. Why then should I be tense with fear when troubles come? My protection and success come from God alone. He is my refuge, a rock where no enemy can reach me. O my people, trust Him all the time. Pour out your longings before Him, for He can help. We may be tempted to think that a better life lies in what others are doing or even promoting on social media. But as God's people, our best life lies in the Lord God. The Bible says, salvation comes from Him alone. My protection and success come from God alone. What should we do when we feel anxiety or envy creeping in because of FOMO or fear of missing out? Trust in God all the time. The Bible says, pour out your longings before Him, and we can do this through prayer. When we trust in the Lord God, we are never missing out because protection and success come from Him. Dear friends, we invite you to study the words of God here in the true Church of Christ and learn how to completely trust in God and obtain the protection and success He provides. Stay safe, stay strong, and stay faithful. God bless.
For that great reminder and inspiring message to take with us for the week ahead. I hope everyone's enjoyed the topic discussion. Let's go ahead. We've actually just inviting everyone that's tuned in right now to tune in for the rest of the week of Faith and Melody. Kuya Nico, Kuya Irene, is our Faith and Melody promo ready so we can play the topics that we've got coming up for this week on Faith and Melody? If it's ready, let's go ahead and play that video.
Are you looking for thought-provoking, contemplative discussion on matters that relate to our daily endeavors? Join us this week on Faith and Melody and share your thoughts. Tuesday, being present. Wednesday, beautiful from inside. Thursday, Ohana. Friday, Reflections on Selfhood. Tune in to INC Radio YouTube channel at 12 midnight Philippines or 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
There you go. So again, thank you to everyone. We do encourage you all to join in for the rest of those topics on Faith and Melody this week. Same time, same channel. Go ahead and I'll pass over to Henry for any greetings. We got a lot of people greeting you in our chat and any promos.
Thank you to my fellow Central Europe, those in chat who are always supportive, and those who've tuned in from what district was that again? Central Midwest district in the States. We got a couple of visitors from the States who are close friends of us. So thank you to Ickbon family and to the Gabrantino family for tuning in. And as always, thank you to my wife who is just right outside this wall, who's always supporting an INC radio.
Yes, also thankful and grateful for everyone that tuned in with us today. And shout out to my wife, Jem, and to our daughter, Lena, and to everyone there. Of course, the sister Erica Celestina of earlier, who not only joined us for a little bit, but also produced today's topic discussion. Our tech team, our brothers there in the main studio in the Philippines, Nico and Irene, thank you so much for helping us today. And shout out to our Sister Desta Senas and Brother Edwin Asabuke, and of course, the INC radio station manager, Brother Wally Taray, and special grateful thanks to our executive minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, and the deputy executive minister, Brother Angelo Iranio Manalo. Once again, thank you everyone for joining us on today's broadcast. I'm Jay from Australia. I've been your host for today, and we hope we're giving you a positive start to your week ahead. The closing song for this show is the song titled, I Have You. Join us again this week and tomorrow and the rest of the week for the next episodes of Faith and Melody. Take care, everyone. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.
When darkness surrounds me and all seems lost, and the problems I face are seemingly insurmountable, I bow my head and pray, full of hope, 'cause I have the Almighty who will save me from trouble.
People fear for today and worry about tomorrow, but I won't despair. I know you'll get rid of my sorrow. This world may feel helpless with the stress and spreading illness, but with your help, my Father, I'm truly blessed.
I will never stop serving you, my God. Even when I'm down, you come with your love. I am strong and brave. I will never be afraid, 'cause I have you.
You inspire me to wait patiently and hope for the grace you reserve for me.
I'll endure, come what may. In my duty I will stay, 'cause I have you. In whatever situation, I keep on serving, strong and steadfast in faith, training in holy living.
As long as I'm inside the Church of Christ, I'm certain the things I do in service are never in vain.
I will hold on to
the hope you've given me,
and never hesitate
to tell people about it.
'Cause your words of truth are all the light in the dark. I share my faith and show them the right path. I'll never stop serving you, my God. Even
wait patiently, hoping for the grace to reserve for me in this life and the life to come. I'm strong.